Welcome to the Verdin Sports Show, G. It's Halloween. I had to come up festive, man. If you don't know what this is, the powder wig, the robe, man, this is Judge Verdin right here. I'm giving you the verdict. You know the drill. We got some nice LSU news for you today, G. What the hell are you doing today for the holiday, man?
Covering a high school football game.
I like it. I like it. We have the gavel, man. We got everything ready. I got picks. I'm about to sweep G today. We're gonna go 3-0. He's not gonna be happy about it, but hey, winners win, G, right? That's what we that's our motto on the stream. So I'm gonna have to live up to the bill today. I can't lie. I'm a little nervous, but hey, I think I got some things up my sleeve. I don't know if you prepared for me this week. What's your take on that?
I'm a winner, man. I mean, I don't know what it feel like to be with a losing record and things like that. You know, I
Hmm?
just I just know how to win. I just know I keep stacking days, stacking weeks.
Yeah. Well, let's see what you do this week. I got about two curveballs I'm gonna throw at you, but other than that, this is probably the biggest curveball this morning. Me coming up here in this powder wig. Everybody gonna be like, "What the hell? The hell's this? It's Halloween, bro. Y'all wanna dress up for Halloween? Come on, man. Y'all can't make me feel stupid out here, bro. Come on, IG. Why you ain't wearing no costume, bro? What happened to that? Why you not dressing up for school, man?
Now, if I'm going to dress up, I want to knock it out the park. I
Oh, bro,
want
this ain't knocking it out the park.
I want to knock it out the park. I want to wear something that's going to be like I want to be over the top with it. So if I
Okay.
can't be over the top with it, I'd rather not dress up at all.
All right. Go big or go home. I appreciate it. So, if you have been missing out this week on LSU coverage, Jeff Landry, he been having a lot to say, G. He been having a lot to say. Sometimes I feel like it's a little bit controversial. Sometimes I think it makes his job look a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Some people have their own opinions on it, but I think he's wilding, G. And I am going to go and back up a couple of my comments. So obviously Thursday night, Scott Woodward separates from LSU. And look, they're going to double down and say, this is mutual. We both agreed on it. And a lot of people have questions. So the first question would be the thing we brought up Monday, the fact that Scott Woodward is responsible for Jimbo Fisher and the Ed Orgeron buyout and Brian Kelly's buyout. Now, however, though, if you kind of zoom out a little bit, look at the whole impact he's had on the athletic department. I believe it's 6 national championships under his tenure, 2 with baseball, 1 with gym, 1 with basketball. They got some track and field ones as well. My point is, a lot of people were wondering why make this move after what seems to be, 1 or 2 kind of big mistakes, but few and far in between. Because if you bring in someone like Jay Johnson, if you bring in someone like Kim Mulkey, some people are arguing it might cancel out. G, what's your thoughts on that? And did you see this coming? Because I feel like it kind of spiraled out of control after Jeff Landry saying, "Hey, he ain't hiring the head coach." He said verbatim he would let Donald Trump select LSU's next head coach before Scott Woodward would. And I mean, as an AD, seems to be the lion's share of your job, making athletic department decisions. So obviously, I'd imagine that played into it. But hey, as LSU said, it was a mutual agreement. G, sound off here because this is a lot to unpack.
Jeff Landry sounds like an absolute clown with the things he said in that press conference, with him standing on LSU's campus advocating for a statue for Charlie Kirk. It's just getting worse and worse. Somebody need to have a conversation with him. Somebody close to him, his PR person, and take it from off in front of the camera, bro. I mean, you killing yourself. You're burying yourself. As it
Yeah.
pertains to Scott Woodward, very surprised. Very surprised. I think Scott Woodward has done an excellent job since he's been the AD. You just alluded to him having 6 national championships under his belt, bringing in Jay Johnson, bringing in Kim Mulkey. Regardless of what people want to say, and if you want to admit it or not, hiring Brian Kelly wasn't a bad hire. I'll go back to what I've been saying all along. I didn't think they should have hired Brian Kelly. I thought they should have went a different route, but
Mhm.
I didn't look at that hire as what is Scott Woodward thinking about. Why would he hire Brian Kelly? I understood why he hired Brian Kelly, even though I didn't agree with it, and it just didn't work out. The only thing that you can really hang your hat on when it comes to Scott Woodward and what he did in his tenure as the AD is the buyout money part. The buyout money with Ed Orgeron, the buyout money with Brian Kelly, and then they even holding what he did with Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. They holding that against him as well. And so when you think about it from that perspective and a business perspective, I think that's what this came down to. And I also think it's some things behind the scenes that we probably don't know about, that probably Jeff Landry and some of these guys on the board had a problem with Scott Woodward. And that's something we probably won't ever know until maybe a year, 2 years down the line, what really went on in that meeting and behind the scenes. And I think that Verge Osbury taking over, he's been working at LSU since 1991, right? He played there. He understands the culture. They're saying they're giving him full autonomy to hire the next head coach, although he will have a board that he has to um, talk to and consult with when he's making a decision. But for them to say that LSU's athletic department is not in shambles or the football program is not in shambles right now, that's a goddamn lie. You look like a joke. And if I'm a top tier college football coach or NFL coach, I am scared to death to take that job as the head football coach at LSU. It looks like an absolute joke down there in Baton Rouge. It looks like it's unorganized. It almost reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh
This,
no.
yes, it reminds me of whoever gets this job, you're gonna have to be a puppet and answer to somebody like Jeff Landry who don't know shit about football. And if I'm Lane Kiffin, if I'm Eli Drinks at Missouri, if I'm any of these top tier coaches, I am staying far away from Baton Rouge. When you pay attention to what's going on and the whole grand scheme of what's going on down there in Baton Rouge, bro, it just looked like a shit show. The only person I think that could come to Baton Rouge that they won't even touch and try to make him a puppet is Nick Saban. But we know that's so far fetched at this point.
Yep. To your point about Verge, adding a little more color on it, he led LSU in tackles twice during his career here, won some SEC titles, obviously worked with Taft. He does have a good pulse around it. And he had a quote that I found interesting. He said, LSU's not broken. We know how to win. And to a point, I agree. But right now, with the state of affairs, it kind of seems like it, it's, I don't want to say it's like a fire you're trying to put out and not let spread. But when you got comments like Jeff Landry saying, we want an incentivized contract, that's dangerous. Now, at a fundamental level, I agree with that. I agree with the fact that a coach should not be 100% guaranteed. I would like them to win and be able to get rewarded. But we're not living in a perfect world, my guy. You know what I mean? You're going to be the only school offering that contract, and you're going to be putting those contracts up next to people who are 100% guaranteed. You can't be the only one. You can't be the first. You can't try to sit here and change it. Like, I get what you're saying at face value. However, you're putting LSU at a disadvantage. And then Verge also doubles down, and he was saying that they're going to do whatever they can to get the best college football coach. So in my eyes, Jeff Landry sitting here calling for something, and the Board of Supervisors is already going against it. So this is one tiny incident in 7 days where Jeff Landry has called for something. It hasn't happened, and now we're going to wait to see the fallout. Because to your point, if this is similar to Jerry Jones, I mean, bro, every single move you make, there will be some type of criticism. And it doesn't matter if it's raising ticket prices. It doesn't matter if it's paying a coach. It doesn't matter if it's bringing a live animal on the field, G. There's going to be a lot of areas where he's going to put his 2 cents in, and the 2 cents might not be worth 2, but he'll sit there and continue to give it. It'll be interesting to see who really like bends the knee and ignores all this to be able to inevitably be the LSU head coach. Here's my worry, G. I've talked to a couple of people about this off camera, and I want to pick your brain about it. I think this is what happens. If y'all had to sit me down and say, Jacob, tell me who the next head coach is, I would say, unfortunately, 1, it's hard to say. 2, I think they're going to go after Lane Kiffin, get left high and dry. I don't think he's going to wind up coming. I think he stays in Oxford. I think LSU puts all the chips in, gets burnt, and at the last second has to go find a guy that might not be the biggest and, the best draw you could have had. It'll be similar to when Ed Orgeron wound up getting the job after 8 games of the interim head coach. Your first option's gone. Your second option picks a different job, and then now you're left with Mr. Ed, which obviously turned into a legendary career and it didn't end the way you wanted it to end. But I guess my point is I think that LSU doesn't know right now who the guy is, and their top 3 names are probably not even going to be on that list whenever it's all said and done. I don't think Lanning's leaving. I don't think Lane's leaving. I think they could be in a bind. And then I want to even double down and talk about John Summerall. Dog, look at last night. Halftime, UTSA had 300 total yards. Over with. 300 total yards, 30 points at half. They take an L. And I just don't see that being a realistic possibility. So I don't know what direction you go in now, because there's not only are you going to have a tough time negotiating in general with some of the top coaches, but now add on the fact that your governor is in the mix. Now add on the fact that you don't have a stable athletic department. You're about to finally announce your president after 6 months on Tuesday. Why is everything just not stable? I mean, I
The
get it.
guy
Look,
from McNeese is supposed to be the front runner for the president, huh?
I'm not sure. I know they have 3 options. They had, I think it's two men and then one female. I think those are their
Yeah, I
options. I
think
don't
one
know
of
their
them is
names.
the guy from McNeese. They everybody been talking about. He's supposed to be the front runner. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I'm just go out on a limb though. I think Jeff Landry went a little too far here and kind of created a distraction to the point where, bro, you got him talking on Pat McAfee's show. Pat McAfee is as big as it gets. It's national. You're all over ESPN. There's a million TVs with that show on, and we got our representative of the state kind of just making not necessarily light of the situation, but here the main takeaway I got from his problems was he didn't want Louisiana to be responsible for paying the buyout through taxpayer dollars. And they had athletic department representatives today at LSU hold a press conference at 8 o'clock. You can go look at it at the LSU Sports YouTube channel. They said that the Louisiana taxpayers never have and never will be responsible for paying for a head coach. So look, the worry, like, all right, cool, we don't want our citizens to pay through tax dollars. They're saying it's only coming through athletic department revenue and private donors. If that's the case, why is he even getting involved? I mean, I don't get this whole entire situation, G. How do you think it plays out? Do you think this turns into LSU having a real tough time convincing people? And if you had to try to throw a long shot on who you think's getting the job, who is it right now? Because I thought it would be Lane, and I got to get off the Lane train right now. This seems like too much headache.
Whoever gets this job, I think is going to be somebody that nobody's talking about at this point.
Yep.
That's how it's going to end up shaping out because I don't know if people seen or heard what Urban Meyer had to say. Urban Meyer was appalled by the things that Jeff Landry had to say and how they got rid of Brian Kelly and them talking. This was like before they actually announced that they was firing Scott Woodward, but the rumors were starting that they was probably getting rid of him. The things that Urban Meyer said, you could tell, like, why would a coach want to come coach at LSU right now?
Mm-hmm.
With all this turmoil and controversy that y'all have going on, a top tier coach would be stupid to want to come coach at LSU. Especially if y'all talking about putting metrics on a contract, which means if you give me a $60 million contract, maybe $20 million of it guaranteed, and I gotta prove that I'm worth the rest of it by winning a certain amount of games or making it to the playoff or whatever the case may be. Man, ain't no top tier coach about to take no job like that, bro. That's
Nah,
not
you
the
don't need
that's not
to.
the that's not the life. That's not the times we are living in when you talk about college sports.
Nope.
Anybody that takes that job is going to be somebody that's in the third tier when you start talking about coaches in the country. And this goes back to my rant and my take about Frank Wilson. And this is making my point even more why I think that's the direction they need to go in to be the next head coach. You saw Matt Flynn, you saw Jacob Heston really giving him his flowers on their show about how he's doing an excellent job since taking over with the interim tag. Inviting all the former LSU players back. And look, I get it, bro. It takes more than that to be the head coach of a school like LSU. That's just scratching the surface, right? How he handled himself in that press conference, phenomenal, right? If you had to give him a grade for that, A+.
A+100.
But it's a results based business, and he has to still go out there and win games, which I think LSU will have a good opportunity and a great chance to win the rest of the games this year. And the reason why I say that, because talking to these players in that building, they are galvanized. They are they are a very tight knit group, bro. Frank is doing a good job of doing team bonding things with them. They're having real transparent conversations about what's going on for the rest of this season and the near future. I think sometimes the truth could hurt, but I think sometimes people respect the truth more than bullshit. And one
Okay.
thing Frank is doing right now, he ain't giving you no bullshit. He's telling you exactly what it is. And I can tell you, I've had 5+ players tell me this. He's told some players some things they didn't want to hear. I can respect that. That's why I think you need him in that seat, bro, because he knows what it takes to build up championship program. He understands these kids. He understands the seriousness behind having real relationships in that building. You heard what some of the people said. Man, Brian Kelly couldn't even remember some of the kids' names. Couldn't remember some kids' numbers.
The names that happened on a press conference a couple of times. Like, bro, he would blatantly call them a wrong name.
I
Like, I
mean,
should say,
bro, Frank knows who Ashton Stamp's grandmother is.
dog.
You
Yeah,
know, I'm just giving you a clear indication on how in tune he is with his players and the team. I think they got to give Frank a serious consideration only if he finishes the season off the right way. If he goes 3-1, and let's say that one loss comes to Bama, but it's a close game and it comes down to the wire, bro. You got to consider Frank. You got to. You got to, bro. And I'm not, and I think when I made my take the other day, people thought I was trying to say, and that's how I know people got bad comprehension. People got bad understanding because if you really listen to what I really said, I never said that I thought that Frank should get the job over Lane or he's a better coach than Lane or a better head coach than Lane. I never said any of that.
he
I'm
deserves more.
saying, I'm saying from a business standpoint, when you start talking about all this money they had to throw out for these buyouts between the last two head coaches with Ed Orgeron and Brian Kelly, and how this is becoming a shit show with Jeff Landry, and how they're gonna have metrics on this next contract, it makes all the sense in the world to keep one of your own in the building to be the next head coach. Even with all that being said, I think that Frank will do a great job. I'm gonna keep standing on that. Now look, if he go these next 4 games and he shit the bed, he don't deserve the opportunity. He got an opportunity in front of him. He got to crush it.
Yep. I think so too, and then just the respect that you see, it exudes. Like there's something that you're not just going to be able to fake. You know what I mean? When you respect a coach, or when somebody has command over a room like that, or I don't know, they're sitting down in a chair, and everybody that walks through a building walks by and shakes his hand before they go on about their business. Like it's the little things like that that you pay attention to. Like, okay, this guy not only has respect but understands how to clearly communicate and get through to them. Like there's a balance between knowing everything but being able to tell everything and having it like go into their heads.
And I want to make one more point because I had a whole bunch of people coming on my post saying, why would they hire Frank Wilson? He doesn't have a good head coaching record when he was at UTSC and when he was at McNeese. People, do your research. All right. When Frank went to UTSC, he was taking over a terrible program. When Frank left, they went 13-2 and 11-3. Right after he left, Coach Trailer, who's the head coach at UTSA right now, has came out and said, now he hasn't said this publicly, but I know people that's in that UTSA program, coaches, personnel people, that has said that he has gave Frank Wilson his flowers and his props about how what he did with that program was phenomenal. Far as the infrastructure, the different things he implemented, the type of players he recruited in there. So when Trailer got the job, it was easy for him to just come in there and just keep things afloat. And that's why he was able to come in there and win the way he did soon as Frank left. When he went to McNeese, people forget Frank didn't have any resources when he went to McNeese, bro. Ida hit. Lake Charles got the worst end of that hurricane. He spent most of his time at McNeese trying to build a city up, trying to build that program up, trying to help kids graduate. Like football was really second fiddle when you talk about the livelihoods that was going on in that Lake Charles area. All right. And so I don't think you can hold that against Frank Wilson. I really don't. And let me make another point. When Nick Saban was at Michigan State, he wasn't a world beater. At Michigan State, Saban was right around 500 most of his career there. I think he was there 6 years. He was around 500 every season. I think one season he won 9 games. But you know what the difference was? When he came to LSU, he had more resources. He was able to recruit better talent, which made him turn into what he is today, Saint Nick, and considered the GOAT in all of college football. Give Frank Wilson them same resources. Give Frank Wilson that brand of LSU with them 3 letters going across his chest, and I guarantee you he'll knock it out the park.
Hard to disagree. It's comparing apples to oranges, looking at a lower program comparatively to something like LSU in the thick of the NIL world, where you're able to buy out a coach after a 48-hour conversation or throw the money in the portal and get the #1 class instantaneously. Like that, there is no job like LSU, and I'm hard pressed to find a reason why he wouldn't be able to translate. And it's because of the little things he's doing. I think that there's a lot that goes into the fact that you're able to so quickly in a chaotic environment get everybody to buy in and all on the same page. Because, a lot of programs during moments like this spiral out of control, go down into the dumpster, make everything look horrible. So he's got nothing but opportunity in front of him. I'm going to agree with you. All right. $5 trivia time. Come on, everybody. I tried to get y'all ready in the chat. Our guy Andre saying Judge Verdin. Come on, man. Got the gavel in the bill, man. I'm official out here, G. What can I say? I'm official, bro. Come on. All right. $5 trivia. We're doing it every week. No matter if you got Cash App, no matter if you got Venmo. Here's the question. Who had the shortest tenure as LSU head coach in school history? Gee, don't give me that face. You already give me an eyebrow. Like, what kind of question is this? This is a hard-pressed question. It's tough to make one themed around LSU's head coaches. This is the best one I could come up with. $5. Whoever hits it in the chat, go answer. Don't Google. If you're cheating, I'm gonna know.
It gotta be either. I can't remember who the coach was before Jared DiNardo. Or was it Jared DiNardo? I can't remember. If it was before that, I damn sure don't know.
Somebody Googling it. All right, I'll give you a hint. It was in the last 15 years. American Patriots head in football. Yes, sir, in football. Sorry, wasn't specific enough. Yes, LSU football head coach. We are keeping it themed with the.
It gotta be Jared DiNardo then.
Okay, that's G's answer. Andre says Mike Archer. Damone Wilson says Howard.
It's either Jared DiNardo or the coach before Jared DiNardo. It gotta be.
I'm trying to see if somebody can get it. I haven't seen it yet in the chat.
No, hold up.
Oh wait, hold up.
It's Coach O. It's Ogeron. He got the job in what, 2017, 2018? And he was fired in 22, so that's 5 years, 4 years, something. It got to be Ogeron.
I'm about to piss everybody off. I'm just saying. I'm giving y'all one more second to. I haven't heard the answer yet. I would have stopped. I don't want to roll it over in the next week and piss everybody off, but I think I might have to. Tell me when to call it, G. 30 more seconds, you think?
Nah. This is enough time.
It's over with?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, everybody. This is probably a shitty question. It's my second one, so everybody give me a breather. It's 2 people. They're both tied. One day, Brad Davis and Hal Hunter were both interim after coaches left. Ed Orgeron left.
Oh, man. Interim don't count.
I knew I would piss everybody off. Interim don't count. And now I got that. Hey. I made the question, man. Cool.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible.
All right. I'll respect the criticism. You
got on the screen. You don't even have interim. You got head coach.
Man, interim head coach is still a head coach, bro.
No. Interim is temporary. Head coaches, I got a contract.
Hey, in my head, when you Google who is the shortest tenured head coach at LSU, it does pop up Brad Davis. He was the head coach for 1 game. So
Google need to restructure something in.
Hey, looks like I'm keeping my $5, G. I might go throw a little parlay this weekend. Next week, it'll get bumped up to $10 on Friday. Sorry that everybody got it wrong. Might be a technicality, but hey. Didn't get it right. Winners win, G. Nobody won right now. So I'm going to have to keep the 5 in my pocket. Everybody pissed off at me. Hey, y'all better come prepared on Friday then. No, nothing's off limits. Nothing. Y'all better be prepared. I'm sorry. All right. Let's move on to the picks, G. This is going to cheer you up a little bit. I'm going to cheer you up, G. Go ahead, smile. Smile, G.
I don't like how I'm just 2 games ahead. I need some separation.
I want you to celebrate because of this. Because I think
I need some separation.
The thing is, though, is that American Patriot saying that's not right. Well, American Patriot, I appreciate your opinion. But hopefully next week you can get the answer correct and you get $10. Sorry. Game is the game. Don't kill the messenger. All right. G's up 17-11. I am trailing slightly, 15-13. This is on our top 3 picks of the week segment every Friday. We pick the best 3 games in our opinion, and we try to give you a straight up money line pick. G was 2-1 last week. I was 1-2. Vandy beat Mizzou, embarrassed me. Heartbreak City, Oklahoma.
That's the only one I got wrong, huh?
It's the only one you got wrong. Oklahoma lost to Ole Miss, so hats off to G. And then BYU beat Iowa State. BYU beat the brakes off of them too. So G got 2 really good picks. He was honest with me, telling me that my trivia question was shitty. I'll be honest with him, telling him he had good bets. There it is. Honesty is the best policy. Let's move into the first game. Vandy versus Texas. G. This is the interesting part about this. Vandy has not played in Austin since 1903. It's a big test. I feel like this is the moment where you're either going to go all in on the Commodores or you're going to be all out. And I know that's a prisoner of the moment comment. And I know that that's something that I don't think is fair to say to a team that has been led into, I feel like, one of the most successful seasons in the last 10 years. Either way, I think you get to see if they're a playoff caliber team. Why? Because Texas has kind of been teetering on that. We don't really know what Texas is. We thought they were number 1 preseason, and then now they're clinging on to dear life in the AP poll. They're number 20. Arch Manning is questionable this week. He'll be a game-time decision. He had a concussion last Saturday in their comeback victory to Mississippi State, which, by the way, was insane. Texas, I don't understand what the hell's going on, but there's another injury here on the injury report. Michael Taft, their safety, is questionable as well. I think that's a big deal. I feel like Archer's going to play, though. I feel like Archer's going to play. I think Texas's D-line is going to be the X factor. Longhorns fought hard last week to come back. I don't see them losing in this spot. You're getting Texas at -166 at home. I know Vandy's on fire. I know I faded Vandy last week and I lost. Gee, I'm fading them again this week. I'm taking the Texas Longhorn money line, my guy. What you got?
I got Texas.
Oh, how you feeling? What you think about the game?
I just think that Texas is starting to hit their stride. They're getting confidence. Arch is getting more experience week in and week out, and he's getting more comfortable. I still think Texas has a really, really good defense, and I think they keep Pavia under control.
I like Colin Simmons, man. Every time I watch a Colin
I like
Simmons
Anthony
game,
Hill.
it hurts me to watch Colin. And I'm not trying to say I don't want him to succeed. Obviously, I love to see people succeed and hit their potential, but it just hurts because he should be in that purple and gold, man. Every now and then I see it, and it just hits me the right way in the stomach.
David Mulugeta.
Had tip. You did your job. Miami and SMU. This one's a little weird. Miami has not left Florida all season long. G. First time getting out of the great state, down low to Sunshine State. They're heading to Dallas. SMU's got a nice defensive front. They got 25 sacks. They also have 12 interceptions as a unit, which I find interesting. But here is a weird stat that doesn't fit the narrative of that. That claim makes it seem like the Mustangs are going to, push you around all game. However, quarterbacks are still averaging around 300 yards through the air. Now, here is how Miami wins this game. Carson Beck keeps it clean. No turnover, no Carson Beck ball, flashback to how you played in Athens. He's going to have to be a professional caliber quarterback. I think Carson Beck leads Miami to victory. This is an easy pick here. I know it's only -395. Go ahead and take it. I think it's a nice little lotto, nice little add to your slip. Miami Hurricanes.
I'm definitely going Miami. I think that loss to
Louisville. Yep.
And how bad Carson Beck played, I think that was a blessing in disguise for him. And I think they win the rest of their games and get to the college playoff and start hitting their stride. So I'm going to go with Miami in this game against SMU. Even though I do like SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings, he's a really good player.
Yeah, I think this is a good little, like I said, with last game being a test for Vandy or Texas. This is another one of those like college football playoff type vibes because both teams are capable. SMU is a sleeper in the ACC. I think that it could be a nice matchup here. You can get a little glimpse into two of the nice powerhouses in that conference. All right, this is the toughest game. Oklahoma, Tennessee, G. Great SEC matchup. Two teams clinging on to their hopes for the playoffs. Tennessee will be without Ricky.
Whoever loses game won't get into the playoff probably.
100%. This is you battling to stay alive right now. Staying alive. So Jamal McCoy and Ricky Gibson out, both key cornerbacks for Tennessee. Tennessee is absolutely horrible in the red zone, dog. I found this statistic and it made me want to throw up. 29 red zone trips for their defense. They've allowed 24 touchdowns. Would really wish LSU would play Tennessee. Here's another statistic. Oklahoma, #1 in sack rate. I think they overwhelmed Tennessee with the defense. Aguilar has not played a defense over 45th in sack rate. I looked at every single game, looked at every single team, and that's not to say they haven't played caliber opponents. It's just to say he's going to be put in a situation he has not seen yet. It'll be hard to move around, I feel like, against this pressure. I got Oklahoma plus 124, baby. I know we're in nailing. I know Tennessee's on fire. I know Aguilar is a sleeper. I think people are doubting Mateer. And I get why. Me and you had this conversation, and G, look, I'll be honest with you again one more time. You were right in terms of why John Mateer shouldn't play. Now, obviously, Oklahoma is in a do or die situation. They always want to be able to put their best team out there, and they had to roll him out there probably for the sense of not regretting at the end of the year. Now, was that the right decision? Hindsight's 2020. The answer is obviously no, because they roll him out against Texas and he looks horrible. And then he's had another few games under his belt where it just hasn't been the same. He finally got a little bit better against Ole Miss. Like, you saw the glimpses that you should have been seeing for the last few weeks. But I think this week he finally gets healthy. And I think you can ride the John Mateer train to a W.
I like Oklahoma, bro. They was right there in that game against Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambers just made more plays. Keywan Lacey had some third down conversions where you was like, bro, how did he even get out of that tackle? So they could have very well won that game. I think they learned from that. And Aguilar, yeah, he's a good quarterback for Tennessee, but he is no Trinidad Chambers. So I think Oklahoma defense overwhelms him. I think Oklahoma runs the ball, and I think John Mateer gets back on track.
So we got the same picks. We got Oklahoma, we got Miami, and then we got Texas.
Yep.
Verdict is in, man. Let's sweep the board, baby. Come on. Last time we all were on the same page, we swept the board. So I think it's a good luck charm every single time. Every single time. Let's get in the chat real quick before we hop out of here. We're going to pick it up. Oh, man. Everybody's reacting. Everybody's got 2 cents. Look at this one. We're going to get Billy Napier. Look at this one. Go offer Dabo Sweeney that bag they're talking about. Somebody reacted to it. Hell no. I love the chat, man. I love the chat. I think this is the best part of the stream. You get Frank, one thing's for sure, you're going to recruit. Damn straight. I think that's
and he gonna get some top tier assistant coaches.
100%. I feel like if you don't hire Frank, you still have to keep him on the staff no matter what.
Yeah, I think he untouchable.
Have to be.
Regardless who get the job.
I agree. American Patriot in the chat saying Tennessee wins. All right. Well, we getting a little fade already. Hey, here's what it is. We'll see Saturday. We got some nice games. Got a bye week. Don't have to sit there and hustle. Get to watch college game day. Put the feet up on the couch. Come on, G. You gonna trick or treat tonight? What's the deal? What's the move? What's the plans?
Nah, man, I'm gonna be covering some high school football.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. You gotta wear a Nostradamus costume. We should have got you the crystal ball, little cape. Come on, man. We lacking. We gotta plan that better next year. It'll be all right. Appreciate everybody for watching. Hope y'all enjoy my costume. Hope y'all enjoy the stream. Hope you enjoy your Halloween. LSU head coaching search still ongoing. We'll be back Monday at 1:00 to cover it. Appreciate your time, G. Y'all have a good one.